Alrighty, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 5, Episode 22 of Hit the Books, the podcast all about sports betting, the best bets you should be taking in everything surrounding sports here. This week, we are in for Super Bowl 60 here on Sunday, February 8th. I have Huff and Ace here with me this week. Ace's Patriots representing the AFC in the Super Bowl, and the Seahawks representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. Let's get it going here this week, though. Ace, why don't you get us started here this week? What do you got for us coming into Super Bowl week?
Yeah, I am dialed, boys. Who would have thought the New England Patriots would be here besides me saying it all year long from the beginning of the season? Drake May is here. Mike Vrabel is here. Josh McDaniels. We're in a Super Bowl in the first year of this new regime. What's better than that? I am hyped up. Hopefully they got Sam Darnold seeing some ghosts, a little haunted tour coming back to the Super Bowl here. Other than that, we got the Olympic hockey right around the corner too, which I'm kind of hyped for. We see some good trades in the NBA and NHL, which is pretty sick too. MLB, we're getting a little bit closer to that too. But yeah, this Super Bowl has got all of my attention right now. And it's been a long 6 years, but we're back. We are all the way back, and it's winning time.
Heck yeah, lots of good stuff. We'll get into the Super Bowl here shortly. But Huff, what do you got for us here coming into this week?
Yeah, obviously a great week in the sports world. Be a good golf tournament coming up. We get the Super Bowl, like Ace said, NBA trade deadline. We'll be wrapping up whenever you're listening to this on Thursday. But a big trade in the NHL. We'll get into all of it. We're going to start out with the NFL. Jesse, let's get to it.
Heck yeah, lots of good stuff. Let's jump in here. Super Bowl 60 is set for Sunday, February 8th at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California, where the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots will meet for the NFL championship. The Seahawks and the Patriots finished 14-3. Seahawks claimed the conference title behind a top-tier defense and efficient offense, earning their second Super Bowl appearance in over a decade. The Patriots, again, also finishing 14-3, clinched the AFC crown, and returned to the Super Bowl for the first time since the end of the Brady-Belichick era. For Seattle, this game is a rematch of Super Bowl 49, where the Patriots beat the Seahawks in a dramatic, controversial finish. Seattle's defense has drawn praise for its versatility and discipline in creating turnovers and limiting plays. New England enters the most Super Bowl appearances for any franchise, sitting at 12, and could set a new benchmark with the 7th title, breaking the current title for most of all time. Patriots cornerback Christian Gonzalez will make history as the first player of Colombian heritage to play in a Super Bowl. Both teams have dealt with injuries during this playoff stint here, including Patriots quarterback Drake May's shoulder issue, which coaching staff says he's expected to play without limitations. And Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold also carries an oblique injury, but is trending towards being ready for kickoff. I'm ready for this game. Not sure about you guys, but let's jump into some of our props and things. Starting out here, beginning of the game, coin toss, heads, tails, -102. What are you guys going with here to start this game off?
Tails never fails, Huff. Come on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've bet this for the past couple of years. I'm looking at the history here because I do always like to look at it, even though it doesn't really matter at all.
And you looked at it last year.
It's in my history of betting tails since the year of the Rams-Bengals Super Bowl. I remember that was the first coin toss I ever bet. I've just taken tails every year. It's 2-2 right now, so I'm not going to jump ship.
This is a telling year for you right here.
Yeah, let's get to above 500 on tails this year.
We need someone that's actually going to flip the coin too. You remember a few years ago they had someone that it wobbled, it barely even rotated.
They put it in their
once.
hand, they just tossed it.
Yeah, it's like, all right, can we get an official coin flipper out there? We should hold some tryouts for
Terry
that.
to flip a coin. Like Fitchy says.
No, 51% tails. You got to look into the weight.
Tails. Good
tails.
Job, Terry.
Yeah,
nice
we're
job.
going
Thank
tails.
you.
Tails never fails.
Everyone here is on tails. Lots of good stuff there. But as we continue here through this game, the next portion, probably before the coin toss, is the national anthem here. Charlie Puth singing that. The line set at 119.5 seconds, so just over a minute there. What are your guys' thoughts on the national anthem?
This I have never bet on. I don't think I will.
I think it goes against American freedom to bet on this.
Yeah, I don't like this. I've never liked that. My thing is I don't know who's holding the clock. Who's starting and stopping that? I understand.
What the big thing is if you have someone outside the stadium that has the practice warm-ups and they're getting the timing of the leaks, sometimes you got a little insider insight. Charlie Puth, Huff, I know you're a big fan up there with probably Migos and A$AP Rocky and some of those other guys, but I'm not too well-versed in his game to give an honest take here.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I have no opinion over or under.
But it is a big name. I know I've heard of him, but I don't really know much other than that.
Yeah, Very
Isn't
odd.
that
I don't
"See
know.
You Again" song with Wiz Khalifa, that like sad Wiz Khalifa song?
Is that him? Can we fact check that? And I see you again. Yeah, that's a banger. Rest in peace, right?
Yeah. I swear that's him. Show my ball knowledge.
I'm trying.
Do I need to get?
Yes, songwriter Charlie Puth.
Yep.
Puth.
Wow. All right. Well, I mean,
I knew he was like that kind of singer. That's why
there he is, right there.
He'll probably
Puth.
do a good. He'll probably do a good anthem.
Yeah, he does have a good voice. Hey, shout out to him. I mean, let's go.
It'll be good. It'll be good start to the game. But let's keep it moving here. Spread total. Let's start heading into some of these odds for this game here. Let's start out Seahawks and Patriots here. Seahawks are the favorite here. 4.5 points for them. Their money line sitting at -235. Patriots at +195. The total for the matchup sitting at 45.5. What do we think happens in this one? Ace, you want to get us started?
Yeah, I mean, Hoff, you want to dive into kind of our takes on the game? Well, we can kind of lead that into why we lean on the spread or whatnot.
I want to start things off, and like obviously I understand you're very confident. You've been here before, done that.
Oh, it's a good team we're playing.
Yeah, no, for sure. Is this? And it has to be. I'm expecting the answer, but I think people want to hear New England fans say this. Is this the least confident you've ever been going into a Super Bowl?
No. I you know which one was like kind of tough? Like it's kind of weird is like the undefeated season because like there's a lot on the line.
There's the.
It's like, can you really do an undefeated season? Some of the younger ones with Brady, like we were really young.
Weren't they like a 14-point?
Yeah, it was against the weak Giants, but that's just like one of those things. That
I think I saw this the first time the Patriots are an underdog in a Super Bowl since Brady's first Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's literally the same exact spot that he came in, that Drake May's coming in. They both got an injury in the AFC Championship in a snow-type game, led by very strong defenses where they didn't have to come and do too much on offense. Very unknown quarterback. People are like, is he all right? Is he actually banged up? I think Drake May's going to come out slinging. This is the first time we're seeing a lighter defense than we had seen. It's another strong one, but
I love how every year they make like Sam Darnold supposedly has been dealing with this oblique injury, Drake May with his shoulder, but like, they all just like that week where there's no football, they're like, well, we just need to talk about something. They're like, what if Drake May doesn't play in the Super Bowl? It's like, are you kidding me?
Did you see that when they left the stadium? He's like, he was carrying his bag out with his left hand. So I saw something the other day when he landed in San Francisco, he was using his right hand to carry his luggage.
Yeah.
So there's a big indicator.
Yeah, his shoulder hurts. We're going to see Tommy DeVito start this one.
Yeah, definitely not. Josh Dobbs, Tommy DeVito. I think you guys are safe to stay on the bench. We'll knock on wood on that one. But, yeah, there's a lot going into this one, right? One thing that you can note here is the Seahawks have faced one top 10 defense since their bye earlier in the season, Huff. That's kind of a crazy take there. People talk about the Patriots having a lighter schedule throughout the playoffs to get here. They played 3 top 10 defenses. They went on the road and won a game. The Seahawks, meanwhile, they played the Carolina Panthers and then teams within their own division. So the teams they had a lot of familiarity with. They didn't really see any strong defenses throughout the way, too. I know that the Niners are playing stronger, but diving into this matchup, I like Drake May in this spot. I think he bounces back. He's been kind of stymied by some great pass rushers. I know the Seahawks are no slouches on that side of the ball, but everybody's healthy on the offense here, right? We have Diggs. We have Matt Collins back in the mix, which is great for the run game and those contested catches on third down. You have Demario Douglas who could step up. Kayshon Boutte, those back shoulder throws. Some of these contested ball catchers that the Patriots have rolled out this year, people underestimate this group, but they're very strong. And Drake May has the confidence to throw into those tight windows. We've seen throughout the year that he can hit those long shots. He checks it down when he needs to, but he has players that are under the radar good, sneaky good, you might say, that can make these big catches. I know it's against Reek Woolen and a strong secondary for the Seahawks, but I'm very eager to see how May can use his arm in this one to kind of put some points up, because you got to expect some points to come from the Seahawks side, but let's not forget the Patriots 16-0 with Milton Williams and Christian Gonzalez in the lineup, allowing less than 23 points a game. So there's a lot of different stats come into it, but there's just a few of my takes. I have some more we'll get into, but let me hear what you have to say a little bit.
Yeah, this Super Bowl for some reason reminds me a lot of when the Bengals made it against the Rams. The Rams were kind of that, team that's supposed to get there. They were the Seahawks of the 1 seed. The Patriots remind me of that Bengals team that, Joe Burrow was in his second year, led them to a Super Bowl in a tough AFC. You guys played a bunch of good defenses. Same exact spread, 4.5 points. Obviously, the Rams ended up winning that by 3. I think we could see a similar situation to that, but I'm starting to like myself towards the Patriots plus the 4.5 points. There's so much money on the Seahawks, and I don't think it's going to be that easy. I think if it is a close game, obviously that plays towards the Patriots' hand because of what you just said. They haven't played great defenses the past few, or however many weeks. Like you said, what was it? Would you say top 5 defense in the past 10 weeks?
One top 10 defense since their bye week, which I believe was week 8.
I mean, they're also a very good offense, so they make good, average defenses look bad and good defenses. I mean, they've scored points at will. That's like JSN. You got to think he's going to get his. Kenneth Walker's, taken over since that Charbonnet injury. I think the Seahawks are going to put up points. I don't really have I can't give you a diehard pick on this game right now. I think if it's a close game though, the Patriots are definitely in this game to win. I would lean on them plus the 4.5 points. I have bets on the Seahawks to win. I'm going to take probably one with the Patriots plus some points, try to find a happy medium there where you just get a close game. But this is truly a one that, the last 2 years we've gotten the Chiefs and the Eagles. We kind of, last year I thought the Eagles would win.
Team before.
Yeah, that's exactly. So it was a little tough. These are two, a new look Patriots team that we haven't seen. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people are giving the Patriots credit here because of, it is the Patriots. They've been there, done that. Like, this is a whole new look. Different coach, different quarterback, a lot of different players. I'm not super confident. I think the Seahawks win the game, but I think the Patriots are definitely in it at 4.5.
Yeah, one thing to note here, though, coming in, I think the Patriots have a new identity, new type of team, but they still have a lot of the old values instilled into this locker room. That's brought to you by player part of the dynasty, Mike Vrabel, Josh McDaniels, who was there during that time. The offensive playbook looks very, very similar to what Tom Brady ran, right? It's multi-factions of the offense that you can use, multi-dimensional, right? You have a lot of different receivers who do different things throughout the middle of the field, stretch the field, 2 good tight ends who can catch the ball and block. The young line coming together, right? We have Wilson and Campbell on that left side. They've actually held their own against some of these top defenders, some of this pass rush. You got Morgan Moses on the outside. Also, the one dimension that he never had with Tom Brady, that's a game breaker, and we've yet to see people figure it out as the Patriots have only lost 1 game since September now, is Drake May's legs and the ability to use them when those guys are covered. And once you start getting a defense to worry about that, it opens up a lot more. The 2-headed snake in the backfield of Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson. That's a nice little tandem you have there, too. It's a little thunder and lightning. Stevenson, a bigger back, tough to tackle, and Henderson with that speed. But that defensive front for the Seattle Seahawks is very strong with Uchenna Nwosu over there. I believe they have Leonard Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence, right?
Yeah.
Their defense is loaded. A lot of guys they brought in. But let's not forget that Patriots side of the ball. I think they play it close to the vest. They've been doing it throughout the playoffs. You remember last week, they've been playing very smart football in important moments. They were willing to punt the ball in that snow. They were willing to run the ball, run clock, and trust their defense.
I was going to say, defense.
They spent so much money. It's a lot of new faces in this place. I'm eager to see how Kenneth Walker runs throughout the tackles because if you're able to limit that run game, how can Sam Darnold? You're putting the game on Sam Darnold's shoulders. I know he's had a good season. He had a good season with the Vikings last year, but even we saw with the Vikings in a couple late season games against Detroit, he faltered under the pressure when it was up to him. This Patriots defense is a number 1 run defense when they're fully healthy. You paid Milton Williams the most money in free agency to come in and be the leader of that D-line. You got him playing alongside Christian Barmore, a marquee pick out of Alabama. These two, when healthy, are very strong. Let's not forget what Milton Williams did in the Super Bowl last year for the Eagles. He went absolutely nuclear. He had a good season overall, but that's what got him his big payday, was performance when it mattered. And he's playing his optimal game, fully healthy. On the outside, we have Robert Spillane fully healthy. That's a big sign to stop this run game and slow down Kenneth Walker. Jack Gibbons they brought in, used to be under Vrabel's tenure in Tennessee. Jelani Tavai, and then they have another piece there on the defense too. His name is slipping my mind right now. Crazy to think. The one that was lighting up Jackson Dart throughout the year. Christian Ellis, my bad. Christian Ellis there too. All those linebackers can fly throughout the field. They shut down the run game, and there's no multi-dimension with Sam Darnold. Would love to see some more pressure. Hopefully Harold Landry years ago in this one. They brought him in as a captain in the offseason, paid for him. They brought in Clavon Chiasen. Remember how good he was at LSU. Picked in the top 10 and kind of a bust down there in Jacksonville, revitalizing his career and really showing why he was a marquee pick. You brought up that JSN note too, saying he's going to get his. But we have a very good answer. And arguably the second best cornerback in the league in Christian Gonzalez. A lot of people saying that after Surtain, you got Gonzalez right there. So excited to see that matchup. If you're not excited about these two teams, that matchup in its own, I saw Ocho Cinco is saying he's watching just for that one. Let's see Gonzalez and JSN go head-to-head and how that one comes out. So you have the number 1 receiver this year against one of the top cornerbacks in the league, one of the young corners too. Both these guys really young. And if you remember back to that draft, Huff, we had a chance, right? We were looking at wide receivers. It was either JSN or Christian Gonzalez. The Patriots ended up going with Gonzalez. The Seahawks ended up going with JSN, so two guys from the same draft class going head-to-head here, Oregon, Ohio State guys. That's another fun one to watch. Besides that, a game breaker that I am worried about a little bit would be Rashid Shaheed. That trade acquisition that they brought in at the deadline was a very under-the-radar, smart move. He's already got that kick return touchdown to open up the players for him. He can stretch the field. Sam Darnold can find that deep ball too. But if we're able to get pressure on him, minimize that, Gonzalez on JSN too, and that run game stymied with Milton Williams and Christian Barmore, Robert Spillane like they've done all year. It's on Sam Darnold's shoulders. I don't know. A lot of guys stepping up for the Patriots. Carlton Davis, 3 interceptions against C.J. Stroud. Marcus Jones, just a touchdown waiting to happen every play. The rookie Craig Woodson, not talked about on this defense a lot, out of Cal. He's been very, very good. He's played the most snaps on this Patriots team. Crazy for me to see that. He's been very good with Jalen Hawkins' house out of Cal, both third-rounders in that secondary there. Kicked out Jabril Peppers, kicked out Kyle Duggar, two very good players in this league, in my opinion. Both went to your team. So that defense of the Patriots, no slouch. I'm just eager to see how Sam Darnold can cook up if JSN is locked up by Christian Gonzalez, or at least even slow down a little bit, because we know he will get some targets. He'll get his. But if you can limit him, who else is cooking on offense? Are you trusting those guys like Cooper Kupp, Jake Bobo, some of those tight ends they have out there too?
I like Barner. I was going to say, I like Barner.
Not a marquee name, though. Not a marquee name. I think they have the pieces to keep up with him. Hawkins has been good in that secondary spot, too. No Charbonnet, too. Is it just Walker against a defense that hits very hard, like I said, with Ellison Spillane? What do you think about the Seahawks offense besides JSN that they can cook up against a very strong and underrated Patriots group that finished in the top 10 throughout the year?
Yeah. All right, yeah, a little bit of technical difficulties there. I was going in about Cooper Kupp, but I was looking at what he was set at. I think I was doing a lot of 3+ and same game parlays. I think if you're a guy like Sam Darnold, you know Christian Gonzalez is going to be on JSN, who, look, we just kind of went in on that. You went in on the, top corner versus top receiver kind of debate there. But I think you got to look to a guy like Cooper Kupp, a former Super Bowl MVP, the only guy on this, I think I saw the only guy on this Super Bowl roster for the Seahawks that has any previous Super Bowl experience. So you let alone a Super Bowl MVP. You got, recently too with that Rams team. I think that they're going to look to him a lot. If I was a guy like Darnold, that's where I'd be looking. I do like Barner. That's one of the touchdowns I like. I like his value. At plus 240, I think I was looking at Kupp as well. For the Patriots, I like a Ramondre Stevenson touchdown plus 130 on MGM. You could shop that around, try to get that a little bit better. And then maybe Drake made a run winning. I like Henry. I haven't decided for my second one for the Patriots, but I do think this will be a little bit higher scoring of a game. So I could see a couple touchdowns going both ways for both teams.
Yeah, I think it would be with the offense they have, but the way these two teams play, their defenses are both underrated. I think they both play strong and close to the vest. I don't think they let a lot of big plays happen. If anything, it'll be a second half huff, so maybe you look into a first half under, a second half over. With that Cooper Kupp matchup, though, the Patriots also brought in Carlton Davis, like I noted. He has that prior experience against them. During that run with the Rams, when they went and won the Super Bowl, Carlton Davis was on that Buccaneers team that they lost to, and he was a corner that's played against Cooper Kupp before. Marcus Jones on Rashid Shaheed, so not bad matchups for the Patriots on that side of the ball. On the other side, I'm looking for Drake May to spread the ball. I believe Tariq Woolen, do you think that they put him on Kayshon Boutte like they did with Pat Surtain last week? That's Drake May's deep shot guy, right? I know Kyle Williams is kind of the speedster, but Kayshon Boutte and him, that's a big connection. A lot of touchdowns this season. We see Diggs running a lot of those underneath routes in the middle of the field, chain mover and clutch catches. One guy that I look for to kind of get a mismatch is Matt Collins. No one's really had an answer for him. He's a really big receiver. Tough guy to cover, especially when he's your 3 or 4 against one of the lower end corners. So he'll move the chains for us as well. And then Demario Douglas in the slot, not too bad. Hunter Henry, I'll look for him to have a strong game. The sure-handed tight end. Him and Drake may have had a connection ever since they came in. Another thing I want to look at, Hop, you were saying reception props for Cooper Kupp. I want to see a rushing prop for Drake May. We saw how often he used his legs throughout the whole run so far. I think he does it here again, especially in the big moments, because he's not afraid to tuck it and run it, and he's one of the best in the league at tucking and running right up the middle of that pocket there. Especially with Josh McDaniels schemes, a lot of that opens up throughout. You said talking about touchdowns here. One that you and I have both been on, I feel like every game is Ramondre Stevenson to get in the end zone at plus 130. I think he might finally do it this playoff run. There hasn't been a Patriots running back to find the end zone yet, and him and Henderson are both really good. Travion Henderson also due for a big run, in my opinion. I think maybe look at Travion Henderson longest rush prop. That could be a cool one to look into. He had those 3 50-yard touchdowns, most by a rookie since Saquon, I believe. But Stevenson, I think it gets back to some textbook classic Patriots football in the Super Bowl here where they keep it close to the vest. I know that the Seahawks run defense is very strong, but I see 38 finding the end zone too. I'm taking that at plus 130. You don't think Stephon Diggs and Cardi B are hitting the little celly in the
Yeah,
end?
I don't know.
That's
I
a
don't know.
funny one. I like the two safest ones, I'd say, are Stevenson and Henry. Obviously, looking at May is not a bad one either, but Booty finds the end zone so much, and May's always looking for him downfield. If I had to take a defensive touchdown on Marcus Jones, you sprinkle on that. That guy finds the end zone left and right. Punt returns too. On the Seahawks side of the ball, I do think JSN does find one. I think it's when he's on a matchup outside of Christian Gonzalez, though. It's like one of those blitzes or zones where he's not actually on Gonzo's coverage. I think he could find one if he gets that coverage mismatch at some point. I think Shaheed's not a bad dart throw either with the special teams ability and the long play ability. I'd be weary on a Kenneth Walker one, though. I think that Patriots defense gets very stout in the red zone. They have throughout this whole playoff run, and they limit a lot of major running backs. When Milton Williams in the lineup, they limited James Cook, one of the leading rushers on the year, earlier in the season. They limited that Ravens run game. So it's tough to bet props in this one. I like Sam Darnold to throw an interception. I don't know if you can grab that line real quick and see what that's sitting at. I think at some point he throws one, and we see a lot of the narrative of seeing ghosts, whether it be you can even get a backdoor Hail Mary type thing. But if you get a decent line on Darnold interception, I don't mind that.
Darnold to throw interceptions minus 150. May is minus 140.
Those are both kind of heavy, though. I don't love the line that much. One thing also to note, Huff, going into the Super Bowl, something that always comes important. We've seen it throughout the playoffs. The Broncos shot themselves in the foot with it, taking points, right? And 3 points becoming important throughout. Field goal kickers here. Jason Myers, established veteran for the Seahawks Patriots with a rookie here, Andre Borregales, one of 2 rookie kickers this year selected alongside Tyler Loop. So that'll be something interesting to see. But I am very hyped up for this one. I think it's a great matchup. You can go throughout a lot of different matchups here. I think the biggest game breaker, though, is going to be Drake May's feet, and that's what it's been throughout the year. Something that they don't have on the other side of the field.
Alrighty, boys, let's keep it moving here. Super Bowl 60 here. Super Bowl 60 here. Who is going to be the MVP here coming into the Super Bowl? Sam Darnold is leading the board here at plus 115. Drake May behind him at plus 230. Jackson Smith-Njigba at plus 500. And Kenneth Walker at plus 700. And Ramondre Stevenson at plus 3,000. What do you guys think here?
I got to go with Drake May here in this one. I mean, I don't see him being anyone else. If you were to bet on the Seahawks, I guess you would say Kenneth Walker or JSN. Those are the 2 big ones to look at. Defensive side of the ball, we could see an interception or defensive touchdown be a big one. Marcus Jones, sneaky play again. I saw someone place a long shot bet on Borregales to be the Super Bowl MVP, but I think that's just a donation.
Yeah, those are donations.
I'm going to go with 10 here. I'm going to go with Drake May. I think he does enough with his legs and his arm. Multifaceted. I could see the Huff. We talked about him getting in on the anytime. I think he throws for a pair and runs one in himself, and that's a 3 touchdown day. Combined 300 plus yards rushing and passing as well against a good defense, leading his team to victory. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him in a Brady scenario too, where he has to be in that 2-minute drill to win it at the end and comes up money.
I would say for my favorite one is probably JSN. Would you say plus 500? I think you could see I think if he has a stat line that we've seen from him most of the season with, up towards 100 yards, 10 catches and 100 yards and a touchdown. If the Seahawks win this game, I think there's awesome value on JSN to get the MVP. I kind of agree with the Kenneth Walker stuff. That's why I like Barner to score. I think there's going to be scenarios where they get down in that red zone and it's kind of tough to run the ball in that red zone against this Patriots defense. You look for the short little in routes with your tight end. That's what kind of led me for Barner. Not picking him for the MVP, but that's what I'm saying away from Walker. But I do like JSN for the Seahawks. If the Patriots win this game and you think Drake May is not the MVP, you're crazy.
Yeah, it's got to be on Drake May legs. His arm, his legs, whatever it may be. I know Ramondre Stevenson can kind of go nuclear, or Travion Henderson too, and that Patriots defense has shown big turnovers.
Yeah, there would have to be like a Malcolm Smith when the Seahawks won the Super Bowl.
Malcolm Butler didn't even get the Super Bowl MVP for the Patriots when he had that
before that. Malcolm Smith did for a play like that.
One thing we're talking about, you said JSN, so I think the last 2 wide receivers to be MVP in the Super Bowl were Cooper Kupp and Julian Edelman, if I'm not mistaken, and they both did have 10 plus, 100 plus, and they found.
I think if he has that stat line and Darnold has like 200 yards, but 100 of them are to JSN, you got to go to JSN.
But like we said, that matchup with Gonzalez is so tough to throw money on JSN. MVP in my opinion with a marquee.
I think it's even
corner
more
on the other side.
impressive if he has that stat line.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, but I think it's a tougher ask, though. A tougher ask for sure.
Yeah. No, I see.
I
but
just
you
want to
just
see
seen
this
it both ways.
pressure get through for the Patriots here this week and disrupt Sam Darnold, really make him see ghosts. We've seen the pressure from 90 and 97 up the middle. Barmore and Williams, one of the best D-lines in the league. The pressure they get in the interior is nuts. So shut down that run game and get after him. One stat, I know we're on the MVP talk here, but one stat I want to call out, Huff. The Groundhog did see his shadow this year. Every year that the Groundhog has seen its shadow, the Patriots have won a Super Bowl. That when they've been in it. So nice little stat for us right there. Shout out Punxsutawney Phil.
Good old Punxsutawney Phil, not too far here from Pittsburgh. Alrighty, let's move into the Gatorade odds here. The final bet of this Super Bowl here. What color do you think is going to get dumped on the winning coach here? Orange leading the board at plus 225, yellow, green, lime at plus 260, blue at plus 260, purple plus 750, red, pink at 1100, water clear at 1100, and no Gatorade bath at plus 5,000. What do you guys think?
Huff, before you go in here real quick, just like by the guys they are, Mike Vrabel, if the Patriots win, is definitely getting Gatorade dumped on him, or at least some type of bucket, like 1,000%.
No, I think both coaches will do.
You think
will
Mike
do it.
McDaniel will?
McDonald?
Yeah, Mike McDonald? Not Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, I think
wow.
he will. He seems like a cool coach.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's a little bit more straight edge. But I think Vrabel definitely will. I like the blue here because both teams have blue as a primary part of their color scheme. Yellow is never a bad one either. If I was going off of straight Gatorade thoughts here, I'd say yellow. But I think with the Seahawks and Patriots color schemes, I'm going to say blue. I really like the blue pick.
I for some reason can see it. I have already pictured it being purple, so I'm going to say purple.
Wow. Good value on purple for sure.
Imagine the Patriots win, though. How automatic is Mike Vrabel getting a Gatorade fat? He's enjoying it, too.
Alrighty, boys. Lots to look forward to as we get into Super Bowl 60 week here. Anything else to add on the Super Bowl?
No, live stream Sunday for all of our official picks. We'll see you then for
we'll dive in more into it then. But like I said, so many matchups throughout the field, so many different aspects coming in. New coaching faces, really. I know that McDonald's been there for 2 years now, second year. But a lot of new guys in new spots, quarterbacks who have never been here. A lot of guys going for their first spot. Drake May could be the first quarterback to win it from a heralded QB class with a lot of big names like Nix, Williams, Daniels, Penix, 9. And meanwhile, Sam Darnold representing his class. Who would have thought he would have been the first one from his class to get here with Jackson and Allen and some of those other big names there. So
Baker.
Yeah, a lot of different storylines here. Excited for this one. Two teams we didn't expect. It's not like one of those past years. Everybody hated on the Chiefs and waited for their downfall just for the Patriots to be back. But like I told Huff earlier, this is a different Patriots team. A lot of people I think a lot of people can get behind Mike Vrabel, honestly.
Yeah, I've said that they're so much more likable than they used to be.
But one thing that remains constant out of all of this, Josh McDaniels there again. If anybody can scheme up a way to win a Super Bowl, I'm going to leave my faith in his hands.
Alrighty, boys. Lots to look forward to. Live stream this Sunday. Make sure to tune in on YouTube, TikTok, and Rumble for all of our plays here on Sunday, as well as on our Instagram and Twitter. Those will be released there. We got some news here on the NHL, NBA, and the golf world. Let's check it out. The NHL to start here. The LA Kings have acquired Artemi Panarin from the New York Rangers. The Kings were supposedly the only team Panarin was willing to waive his no-trade clause for. What do you guys think about this move for LA, and what does this mean for Mackey's Rangers?
It's crazy that the Kings are the only team they wanted to waive his no-trade clause for.
Just another big market.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's a cool one to go play for. I guess he really only wants to play in those big cities, huh? Because wouldn't you want to go try and win a cup? I guess for this Russia, it doesn't matter too much, because I remember the Devils, the Canes, the Avalanche all being in on this guy, and that would make a lot of sense to go to. The Kings are a strong team, right? They're right there in the mix. He gets to play with Kempe. There's a lot of stuff there. But the fact that the way that no trade clause is massive, and you're right, Huff, it's just a big market play. But I can't believe the haul that the Rangers got back for it. That is abysmal, in my opinion, especially looking back on some of the moves the Bruins made last year. We got Fraser Mitten, one of the top rookies, and a first-round pick for Brandon Carlo. We got a first-round pick for an aging 34-year-old Brad Marchand. Like, how are you not getting more out of this trade deal, in my opinion?
Yeah, tough look for the Rangers, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's crazy. You don't get a first-round pick. You get a former first-round pick and a top prospect, which is important to add. But this Rangers team, man, I think I don't know. They got to hit a full reset. We're going to see a lot more dominoes fall in the offseason for them. So much high hopes the last few years. I don't know. It's too much talent that they did nothing with. Kind of crazy to see. Mackey not here, so we don't get to see those crocodile tears. He was sending them in the chat earlier with some of the reminiscing of the Panarin Breadman time to the New York Rangers, but not too much success, Huff. I don't know if he ever sees a cup in our lifetime. Hopefully he does one day, but it's not coming anytime soon, let me tell you.
Yeah, this regime of the Rangers is over.
Who's next? Is it Zibanejad? Is it Miller? Trocheck?
Shesterkin? Do they just rip the Band-Aid off and just go for it?
Yeah, like, I don't know what they're doing. They're the lesser team in New York. The Islanders are playing much better hockey. They have the up-and-comer and Schaefer. They have the goaltender that is apparently the better Russian Sorokin over Shesterkin, which is crazy to say because I'm a big Shesterkin fan. But yeah, I don't know. They just couldn't figure it out. Couldn't find the right coaching mix. Couldn't find the right personnel. And sad to see our Bruins and Penguins, who are we're in more of a retool than you guys. You guys still rocking with a lot of the old guys with some newer pieces around them, but we're closer to a cup than they are, and that's not what I expected to see at all. Strange things out of New York, but
we gave them our head coach, and we're in second place where the Rangers were last year, and they're in last where we were last year.
Yeah, it's crazy. How much did you not see this coming?
Really consistent is Mike Sullivan behind the bench, and I like Mike Sullivan, but I just think his coaching style is so stale.
Yeah, and I think that whole lineup just doesn't gel together. Adam Fox took a downturn in his game. They moved on from Condre Miller. They moved on from Artemi Panarin. Lafreniere, is he worth what pick they drafted him with? Miller, was he worth bringing in and sending assets for? Trocheck kind of aging. Zibanejad's a good player, but I don't know. They need a lot more there. There hasn't been too much that excites me.
These playoff teams in the East are starting to kind of separate themselves from the rest of the pack.
A little bit, but there's still a lot of teams over 500 in the Eastern Conference.
But there's a 5-point gap between you and the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, but how many teams are over 500 in the East right now?
On the outside of the playoffs, I'm going to do, because obviously all the playoff teams are. Blue Jackets, Leafs, Caps, Sens. Yeah, there's a lot.
12.
Yeah.
12 teams over 500. So it's taking shape, but
I wasn't looking at OT losses, I guess, but
yeah, no, but above 500, that's crazy. But yeah, this Rangers move, man. I mean, happy for Darren though. I kind of want to see him elsewhere. That's kind of a sick place to see him go play too. That Kings team has been putting together a good franchise the last couple of years. They've been in the mix. They keep drawing the Oilers in the first round, so hopefully they get someone different. But
they're on the outside looking in right now. I think obviously Seattle, they're a point behind Seattle. I think the Kings will end up getting in. That Sharks team could end up getting in as well.
Oh, I'm a big fan of that Celebrini group. I think they're still ahead of their window, but they made some moves too, and I think they're in a good spot to keep pushing forward.
Alrighty, real quick, let me throw out our power rankings here. Coming in at number 5, the Minnesota Wild. Number 4, the Dallas Stars. Number 3, the Carolina Hurricanes. Number 2, the Tampa Bay Lightning. And number 1, the Colorado Avalanche. Any thoughts on this?
That top 5 doesn't really move at all. I mean, those teams are absolute
we've had this
powerhouses.
For weeks, I feel like.
The one thing, though, is who makes the big move. The Wild said they weren't done when they got Quinn Hughes. They were having their eyes set on another big target. The Avalanche were in on Panarin. They always bring someone in every year. I'm eager to see who they get as the trade deadline approaches. That'll be important. We got the Olympics here around the corner. Next week, we'll dive into that a lot more as the NHL players are going overseas, so we'd love to see that. Hopefully my boy Chuck's all right. Some of the teams on the outside looking in, that Vegas team is still very good in my opinion. You have the Bruins and the Islanders and the Penguins are all right there, but can we put them in the really good echelon? I don't know. The Buffalo Sabres, I mean, the heater they've been on the past month or two, at least, is absolutely insane. Alex Tuck with that quote lately saying, we're not just set on making the playoffs, we're set on winning a Stanley Cup. Complete culture shock there, complete culture change in Buffalo, which is something we haven't seen in a while. Maybe it has something to do with those New Jerseys, but I think it's more the personnel. Josh Dolan joining, Tage Thompson.
Uniforms are sick.
Yeah, the old school Sabre. I mean, you can't really beat that. But they have some superstars on that team. You have Rasmus Dahlin, Owen Power, Bowen Byram. Like, that's a good defensive core with Tager, who's finally on Team USA. So up to see that. Some of those other guys. There's some big names on the trade market too. I think the biggest.
I like that Sabres team. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, I don't think they end up going far. I'm not too sold on their goaltenders, even though they are pretty solid, but in their depth. But they're super young with a lot of skill up front. Benson and Quinn alongside those top names I named too. They brought in.
I was like the Sabres when we were younger with like Ryan Miller, Pominville.
Yeah, Vanek.
Yeah, they had some names. They were good.
I had the Vanek jersey back in the day, but yeah, watch for Robert Thomas to be a big move here from the St. Louis Blues. He's got a big contract too. Their asking price is a little bit high right now, but I think someone will end up paying it as he's one of the top players available right now. Look for the Devils to potentially make a move. It's a lot to be had. I think there's going to be some goalie shifts too. Does Edmonton make another move to make that push while they add McDavid on the light contract and get him to the Cup, hopefully while he's still there? I don't know, a lot to be seen, but a lot going on in the NHL world. I believe tomorrow night is the last night we have NHL hockey until March, I want to say, end of February, early March. So we're excited for the Olympics over here. I know that. I want USA to take back the country's hockey from Canada and hear that free bird rolling with the Kachucks out there. How hyped are you to be a Kachuk fan again?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You see Sammy Bennett just got called up to the
Yeah.
Canada roster too.
Yeah.
So you want to play that fourth line? I'll tell you, I wouldn't. Sam Bennett, Brad Marchand, and Tom Wilson coming at me? No thanks. After the whistle skirmishes, I know there's no fighting in international play, but that's going to be a fun one. And kind of lame that Russia isn't in the tournament. I understand things outside of sports are bigger, but I would love to see a very strong team with some of the top goalies and players in the world compete, because we have Finland, we have Sweden, we have America, we have Canada, a couple other smaller rosters going in, Czechia and Germany too. But it'll be a fun one to watch.
Heck yeah, Olympic hockey right around the corner. NHL players taking a break here about the end of the week. So lots to look forward to as the Olympics are right around the corner. Let's jump over to the NBA here. Little trade deadline recap. The Hornets acquired Kobe White. Bulls acquired Colin Sexton. Cavs acquired James Harden. Clippers acquired Darius Garland. Celtics acquired Nikola Vucevic. Bulls acquired Anthony Simmons. Bulls acquired Jaden Ivey. Jazz acquired Jaren Jackson Jr. That's a tough one to say.
JJJ.
Wizards acquire Anthony Davis, just to name the big ones thus far. What moves do you like going forward for the rest of the season and going forward, Huff?
I like that move for your Celtics and the Bulls.
I think that was a great move.
I really like what the Bulls are doing. They have so many of these young guards now with Giddey. They obviously bring in Sexton. They bring in Jaden Ivey.
And Fernie. And Fernie Simon's a good ad too.
Yeah, and that's who they got for Vucevic. I don't understand the move to get rid of Vucevic, but I mean,
they're looking down the road. They're looking down the road.
Yeah, exactly. But for a team like the Celtics to bring him in for when Tatum comes back, you're still in that. You're in that playoff picture, which would look like a rebuild year, or kind of wait for Tatum or wait around for Tatum, and they're very well in the picture for setting themselves up for another playoff run for whenever he comes back. Is there any update like when he's coming back?
Yeah, he was supposed to be back in a couple months. I was going to say like March, April timeline. And then with how well they've been playing, Jaylen Brown stepping up, being in the MVP conversation, Peyton Pritchard really showing
they might just wait till playoffs.
He said, should I just take the rest of the year off? I think he's kidding, but I could see him coming back a little bit before playoffs. But adding the stretch big and Vucevic is massive. Remember last year they lost to Mackey's Knicks in the Eastern Conference quarterfinals or Eastern Conference semifinals. Yeah. So they were without Porzingis for a few games. There's a lot of injuries with Holiday. Tatum ended up losing. I think Vucevic is going to be a very big piece to add in here. He's a legitimate big that you can run in the finals if you get there too. It was Quetta before. He was much better coming off the bench. I think that's a big move, and they didn't have to give up too much to get him. They didn't give up much to get in Fernie Simons, and now they don't even have to give up a first-round pick. The Celtics front office always knows what they're doing. One of the best, front office.
There's great value on your Celtics to win the finals this year.
Yeah, and it's only going to get lower, I feel.
I think so. Yeah, I think so too.
A couple other good moves. We were talking about one earlier. It'll be fun. It'll be like 20 years from now, all these Pistons fans are going to be like, remember those 15 games when Anthony Davis and Trae Young played together? They were unstoppable. Really cool, but like I don't know.
I think this could be fun. I think it would be cool if the Wizards were kind of relevant.
Can they just be healthy though? Like because those two together could be
biggest enemy.
Could be something sensational. I think we saw Draymond Green put on the trade block by the Warriors. That would be something if he got traded. Hasn't been.
He was interviewed. He was on Pardon My Take. On their episode today, and they were asking about it in the interview of him getting traded. It was good. It was a good interview. You should listen to it.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out. The one thing that kind of comes to mind, a lot of people clamoring about, I want to hear your thoughts. Does this make the Luka Doncic trade look more and more scripted by the league with the amount of picks that are flying around for guys like Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., and then Luka Doncic only fetches one first? Give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah. Every trade that gets made, that's the first thing it gets compared to.
It's true.
Trae Young went for what? 3 first-round picks?
Yeah, Desmond Bane went for 4 or 5. Jaren Jackson just went for 3, and Luka Doncic goes for 1. make that make sense. I think it's weird that Darius Garland got moved. I understand that the Cavs are trying to win right now, and James Harden's a really good piece, especially when you get in the playoffs. Some of these top teams like the Celtics, the Pistons, and the Knicks, James Harden catches fire. It's another great scorer, veteran presence because they're so young. But Darius Garland for the future, I think, is a better hold for a Cavs team that isn't that aging right now either. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that one? Does that really push the needle for the Cavs that much?
I thought they were better off with keeping Garland.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for this individual run this season, it's going to help a lot. But any year afterwards, it's going to
Exactly.
look like
Harden's going to request a trade next year. He's not even going to be a Cav after the trade deadline next year.
Yeah, that's what's interesting to me. We saw the Thunder add another player. That was a good move by them. They finally gave up one of their first round picks that they have so many of. I think I'm surprised they aren't doing that more, is giving up some of those picks that they house. Also, the Mavs trade to get rid of AD, at least that's good for them. We were just kind of chirping the Doncic trade, bringing in one first, but at least they get a lot more assets back now by moving
Or
AD.
Anthony Davis, yeah.
Yeah, so like in the end, they are still getting some assets to build around Cooper Flags. They know it's not their time. Would have liked to have seen the Timberwolves add somebody, but or somebody of impact, but they didn't do too much.
Giannis could be on his way there.
Yeah, that's one. I mean, someone's got to play with Ant, right? Or else he's going to be out of town eventually.
They got to. Yeah, I was gonna say if they don't get him somebody soon, he's gonna go to San Antonio and play with Wemby.
I'll tell you what, save my boy LaMelo Ball. I want to see him play in a legit market one day.
Yeah.
The only good thing we got out of him is the best announcer in NBA, who gives
Hornets
us
are
really
fun.
cool highlight reels.
Hornets are fun,
but they're not that good.
No, they have sick uniforms though.
Yeah.
Alrighty, our power rankings for the NBA here. Coming in at number 5, the Denver Nuggets. Number 4, the New York Knicks. Number 3, the San Antonio Spurs. Number 2, the Detroit Pistons. And number 1, Oklahoma City Thunder. What are you guys thinking here about the power rankings here this week?
Thunder can't be moved.
I was going to say Thunder haven't been moved in a season and a half. It was kind of like your Celtics before the Thunder took over that spot. But this Pistons
Celtics could be right there with that Knicks team. They have the same record, same in the last 10 too, and they're only going to get better with Vucevic and Tatum.
Nuggets and Knicks playing tonight. I'm not sure of the score. I've been watching this. I haven't looked up at the score.
It's the only good game. The Celtics are playing the Rockets, which should be good, but there's so many Celtics out tonight. The Thunder have a game tonight. They're big underdogs for once, but if you go check their injury report, they have like 9 guys out of the game tonight.
Yeah.
Nobody's playing for them.
They're playing a G League game.
Yeah, the Bucks obviously don't have Giannis in their lineup. A lot of different stuff going around this league. But yeah, some of those teams on the outside looking in. Celtics, Lakers on the outside. I believe the Rockets are on the outside. I still think the Rockets are a very good team. The Spurs, when healthy with Wemby, dude, that's a scary team. I wonder how far they can go in the playoffs. That's yet to be determined. But they have the young pieces around.
They're going to give the Thunder a run for their money, dude. They've shown they can beat the Thunder.
Yeah, I agree. And we don't get the full test tonight, which is kind of annoying. But we will again. We saw it on Christmas Day, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. They beat them on Christmas Day and in the semifinal for the
Cup.
The NBA Cup that Mackey's Knicks famously won.
Yeah, at least they got some banner to raise. Another team that's kind of interesting is the Orlando Magic. Any thoughts on that team?
Magic? I do like the Magic. Another team, great uniforms. I just don't think they're going to go far.
What are they?
Banchero has not been having a good year. I expected a big year out of him. He hasn't been anything special.
Yeah, they have other good pieces alongside him, though.
I like the Wagner. I like the Wagner brothers.
He's great. Yeah. Are they going to be in a play-in? Probably. That without the Pacers this year because of Halliburton.
Pacers or the you said the Pacers, or maybe say the Magic, the Heat, and the Bulls are like exactly teams like what the play-in tournament is.
It was the Hawks. Now it's the Wizards.
Yeah, exactly. The Wizards are going to be that. They're aiming for the play.
Trae Young loves the playing game.
The Bulls are literally, when I think of the play-in tournament, I think Bulls versus Heat.
Yeah, and then they got to beat the Hawks, and they got to play the Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. But I do like the play-in tournament. It makes it kind of interesting. I like watching that day of basketball, the first 2 days with those playing games. They're usually pretty competitive, too, even though it's not the top-notch teams. It's some good basketball. Got the All-Star game lineups announced, too, recently, which is pretty cool. So we have that around the corner as well.
Yeah.
Fun to see. No All-Star game in the NHL this year, right, with the Olympics?
No.
Yeah. Pro Bowl coming up, too. We didn't touch on that. Or it just happened?
There you go. It already happened. You didn't even know.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It was yesterday.
Crazy. Already. Oh, you guys have anything else? All right. Let's jump over to the golf world here. The 2026 Waste Management Phoenix Open is this weekend, February 5th to the 8th in Scottsdale, Arizona at TPC Scottsdale Stadium Course. First tee times are Thursday at 9:20 a.m. Eastern. I saw a point that said Scheffler and Brooks were supposed to play together, but they're not. But what's his name, Thomas Dietrich, who won the Waste Management Phoenix Open last year, will not be in attendance as he's joined Live Golf this season. So vacant throne. Huff, what do you think is going to happen here this weekend in the golf world?
Yeah, Scotty's a heavy favorite. Brooks, I saw a stat the last time the Patriots were in the Super Bowl, Brooks won the Waste Management, so that could be a fun little bet there. But obviously, I think it was when the Patriots won or / the last time we're there, he won the Waste Management. So however you want to look at that stat. I don't have an official pick on this one yet. Scotty's a massive favorite, and he's always a great pick to go into these things. But I usually like to wait and see until Saturday because, I mean, even if Scheffler has, a shot lead, he'll go from plus whatever. I think he is 240. You might anytime you can get him around plus 150 and take somebody else, take your value pick, take Scheffler as your safe bet. I think it's always a good way to bet golf.
Heck yeah, going to be a great weekend ahead here. Golf all weekend, Super Bowl on Sunday, NHL wrapping up, heading into the Olympic break. Any more thoughts before we get on out of here, boys?
No, I think it's going to do it. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys on Sunday for Super Bowl 60, our live stream. Wherever, you catch us at. Ace, sound off for your Patriots here. Super Bowl 60 on Sunday, like I said.
Drake May, Huff. You guys doubted him the whole time. Mike Vrabel, new regime. Robert K. Kraft, Bill Belichick, not in the Hall of Fame. We don't care. They will be eventually because we're back in the Super Bowl all the way back with a 23-year-old quarterback, some of the most cap space in the NFL, young roster through and through. They're ready to go. They're buzzing. Mike Vrabel, one of the best coaches in the league, best offensive coordinator in the league, and Josh McDaniels, he's going to be one of the best when he hangs them up. Patriots Super Bowl bucket. Let's go. Here we go, Pats.